everybody, it's Cassie Olberg in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and I am here to share something super fun tonight. I just got back from the Creative Memories Incentive trip to Puerto Vallarta, and it was absolutely wonderful and relaxing and everything I needed. But I hope you enjoyed the class that I preloaded to play last Wednesday. Came home to two Bernese Mountain Dogs that were super excited to see me, especially the new one. Apparently, I am her official adopted person because she did not want to leave my side. So super excited to get to see them. So anyway, I'm going to teach something that I think is really fun. I had a few of my people ask me a question about how to do an inside frame. And there was a method that was out. It came out during COVID, and I taught it a couple of times where you made a frame, and then you folded it, and then you marked it, and then you punched it part way, and then you folded it another way. And it was fun, but you had fold marks in it, and it took a while. So anyway, I'm going to teach you a simpler technique that you'll be able to remember and use all the time. And the other technique's great too, but I just thought that it would be fun to teach a way that I think that people will be able to easily remember, and it doesn't have any fold lines. So as you know, I really like to use National Scrapbook Day materials whenever National Scrapbook Day is coming up. So I used the beautiful tangerine cardstock and the National Scrapbook Day accessory pack paper. And for the one that I'm going to demonstrate, I am going to use a different sheet of the paper, and I'll use this pretty glue. So I'm going to demonstrate how to get this perfect frame with the border on the inside instead of on the outside. So we all know how to get it on the outside when it's a frame punch, but you don't even need it to be a frame punch to do this inside border, and it's super simple. So the first thing we are going to do is cut 4 of these mushroom borders. Oh, I meant to put a piece of paper down. Silly me. Let's get that out of the way. It's always better to punch on something because it's easier to clean up. So you can either use a piece of cardstock, or you can use just one of the insert sheets from your paper pack, but something just to keep the scraps from going all over the place. So we're going to make this border, and then the trick whenever you're getting the miter to turn out really well is to make sure that you cut the frames all exactly the same size. So I'm just going to do 2 inches. That seems to work out really nice for me. It doesn't have to be 2 inches, but you do want them to all be exactly the same size. So that's a 2-inch mushroom. And I'm just going to do it again. So is everybody having a good night tonight? We're going to have some time to chat here while we're making these borders. I am going to finish this up and get back over to snuggle the puppies. I'll tell you what, God sure knew what he was doing whenever he brought that second burner into our family. We got our 9-month-old Dee when she was 8 weeks, and she's just perfect. And we're a 1-dog kind of a family, but we ended up with a second Bernese Mountain Dog because she was in a bad situation, and she's only 10 days older than Dee. And oh my goodness, these 2 girls, they play tug of war with the rope, and they like to get the same stick and each take one end of it and pull it back and forth, and they run around together. And E has a little retractable collar on her, like a retractable leash on her collar, and Dee will grab it and walk her around. It's quite funny. If you're on my personal Facebook, you'll probably see lots of puppy photos. So anyway, so now we're on the 3rd one. And like I said, we're just making 4 of these because we're going to do the inside frame. And you're making sure you cut them all the same size. So it doesn't have to be 2 inches. Sometimes we have rules, that we have to follow. Like when you're punching a frame, you always need it to be an even number, et cetera, et cetera. But for this particular technique, you just need 4 of them to be exactly the same size, but they don't have to be 2 inches. They can be whatever size you want. Hi, Judy. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it. I'll tell you what, I get so nervous getting on here, but then I have so many people tell me that they love it that I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going, Cassie, just keep going. It feels kind of weird to me sometimes because I'm an in-person person. So I feel like I should be, having people talk back to me. And I don't. So I'm like, do they want to hear about my Bernese Mountain Dogs? What do they want to know about? Nobody asks questions. So that's always my challenging part, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, so this is the last one, and we're going to cut it at 2 inches, just like the other 3. And look, I used a piece of paper that had a little ding in it. I purposely did that because, I can't use it for something else. So whenever you're picking things to use, always look if there's like a blemish or something if you're going to be able to use most of the sheet of paper. Don't get sad. Don't get sad that it has a blemish. Okay, so now we have these 4. And now I'm going to teach you the fun stuff. It's going to involve angles. You know how I feel about math. It's not really math, guys. I promise. I promise. It's just kind of math. Okay, so we're gonna make these corners so that they go around. So like this one, we're gonna have to cut off this part and this part. So when you look at it, just look at what you need to cut off. So for this, we put it on the 45-degree line. So if you haven't used this trimmer, you really want this trimmer. 45-degree line from New Zealand. Thanks for being here, Gail. I love that. I love that people everywhere can join in and have fun. Okay, 45-degree angle, and you put the corner right on there, and you line it up, and you just slice it off. And then over here, we need to cut off this part, so we're going to flip it, because it needs to be the opposite side. Easy peasy. Line it up on the 45-degree. And you can do this with any of the Border Maker cartridges. Any of the Border Maker punches. And you could use it with the Border Maker cartridges too. It just wouldn't be as thick of a border. So this is like a technique that you could use for a lot of fun things. So then you're just going to take it and you're going to line it up along the top. Okay, so that's the first step. Now you need the next one. So if you look, you need it to just fit in there, right? So to fit in there, you need to cut off this part. So you have to turn it upside down. Easy peasy. So now that's going to fit there. And then for the bottom, you need to cut off this part. So that one you're going to keep upright. And notice they're opposite. So one side you're going to cut upright and one side you're going to cut, whoop, I didn't have the corner quite on there. It's an easy fix though. So on one side you're going to cut with the one side up and the other one you're going to cut with the other side up. Back and forth. But you don't have to remember it. You just have to look at it and I'll tell you what to do. I love this with the Floral Peaks punch. Is one of my favorites when doing this. But there's so many that would work. Okay, so now we need the next one. And I could have done a thinner border too, guys. I could have cut it at 1.5, and it would have just been more mushroom and less, you know what, I didn't get that quite straight. It would have just been more mushroom and less, less border. So there we go. Oh, there you go, Cassie. Now you dinged up the paper. Easy fix. Okay. So now down here, we're going to need it to go here and here. So we're going to flip it to do that side. So that'll fit right in there. And then we need it to go this way. So we're going to cut it not flipped. And, you know, there's a lot of fun things you could do with this. You could like make every other one of these be the opposite side. You could use 4 different colors of paper around it. You could do, you could do that fun thing where you layer some scraps on and then punch so that you have multicolored flowers or multicolored mushrooms. So, it's really fun whenever you can take one technique and mix it up and do multiple things. So we're going to cut there. So we need it to be flipped. And do you see what I'm doing? It's not anything complicated. I'm just looking to see, okay, so now I need this part cut off. So it's going to stay to this side. So you just look at the angle, and you don't actually have to know anything about angles. You don't have to, be a math person. You just have to look at it and see which part of the paper you need cut off, and then line it up on the 45-degree line. So nice and simple. Okay. And there we go. We have another one. Now I could put these on matching pages. I probably won't. I'll probably put them on different ones and put something else down over here. Have some fun with that. But just a super fun technique. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself and you learned something new today. Thanks so much. And thanks for being here.